It's Turkey Day. We got a video coming up right after this intro. Alright, welcome back to another episode of Breaking Edge Outdoors. Happy Thanksgiving, you guys. This video might make it up on Thanksgiving, but it's probably going to end up on Black Friday. Anyway, what we have for you today, if you notice up here over my shoulder, there is a round wheel on a bow. We're not used to seeing those on this channel. Not for me anyway. I picked myself up a nice little deal at Scheels last weekend. We're going to tell you all about it here in just a second. Alright, so when I picked this bow up, I wasn't necessarily looking for a bow. I just happened to walk by and seen that it had a $70 price tag on it. And I got to looking it over, because it's actually labeled. Let me pull it out of the press. It is actually labeled and branded as Redhead. It is branded as a Redhead Toxic. And this is where I think somebody wow, the lighting in here is terrible. This is where I think somebody at Scheels missed the mark and shit the bed. If you can see that Limbolt sticker right there, it says, it's upside down, sideways, but I can't figure out how to get it in there. That is a diamond sticker. And where I think they messed up at was there was another diamond bow on the rack right above them. This is a used bow, but there was another used diamond on the same rack just above it for twice the price. They wanted $160. It was an Infinite Pro Edge, I think it was. I didn't know anything about it. I just knew that the strings and the cables and everything looked good. You know, I rubbed down the limbs really well, and I couldn't feel any splinters. Didn't happen to have a cotton ball or anything with me, so we just went with a full send. And I just Googled it. Here's everything we know about this bow. Re-engineered to generate even faster flight up to 320 foot per second. Effortless draw cycle, compact lightweight machined aluminum riser, parallel limb technology, rotating cam module, no press draw length adjustments from 26.5 to 30.5 inches, 80% let off, 32-inch axle to axle, IBO speed 320, brace height 7 inches, weight 3.8, 3-pin, well, and then it come with the, it's listing off what it came with, which originally it would have come with a 3-pin sight, hostage capture style arrow rest, 5 arrow quiver, 5-inch stabilizer, and wristling. So this is the first day that I'm really starting to mess with it. Oh, this is the, according to the Bass Pro Shop website, this is the Redhead Toxic XT. I guess there was the original Toxic. It was a little bit shorter axle to axle. So we're going to go over this bow. We're going to kind of walk you through it, check all the specs and everything, make sure it's in spec, and if not, we'll have to figure out what we got to do. This does have split bus cables, which I'm not a fan of. They're more tunable, but having more stuff that you can move means you have more stuff that can mess up. I'm not a fan of split buses. But we're going to go over specs, you know, get the actual specs off of this, and then I'm going to find random stuff around the shop here and we're gonna put this bow together and get it shooting. Okay, so when you measure the brace height, you want to go to the deepest part of the grip, which is typically just below the shelf. To the string, we got 7 inches. Brace height is in spec. And I probably don't do the axle right. Well, because I feel like I found an easier way to do it. If you hook your tape measure on the top of the axle, I'm probably way in the shot. Wow, this is going to be tricky. I like to go from top of the axle to top of the axle. Quite frankly, that's still axle to axle instead of trying to line up the centers. And I'm actually coming in at 32 3/4. So over time we have had a little bit of string stretch. Wow. Look, light. That one's apparently out. It's really killing the vibe in here. So I will probably have to I'll probably have to contact my my buddy Aaron and ask him what I'm supposed to do with this. I know you just got to twist cables up, but I don't know if I need to twist the bottom cable or if I need to start messing with the bus cable. Chances are I can probably just throw a few twists in this bottom cable and bring her back in the spec. I will check with him and we'll figure that out at a later date. All that means that we're not going to be able to fully effectively tune this bow today. But it is Thanksgiving. It is 10 o'clock in the morning. We've got family coming in here in about an hour, so we don't really have time. I really should be up in the kitchen with the wife, helping her cook. But to be fair, the missus said it would be alright if I went hunting this morning and I woke up and my back was feeling like crap. And I was kind of wanting to hang around here and give her a hand too, but she kind of run me out the kitchen. Thanks, baby. I love you. So, let me scrounge up some parts here and we'll come back to it. Well, it's really disappointing to install this Trophy Ridge whisker biscuit. Right here. Really disappointing to have installed that and then realize the camera wasn't actually recording. So what I did there, which it's pretty standard, put the bow in the vise, use levels. It's just a generic level. I've got a bowstring level that the ears broke off on, so it isn't actually clipped to the string anymore. Got it out as level as what I could with this vise that I absolutely detest. I've hated this vise since the day that I got it home and put it on the bench. It's getting replaced soon, and I say that every time I use it, but by next spring I'm gonna have a new vise. But got it leveled out, put string wax on the threads of the mounting screw. So now we've got an apex. There it is. Got an apex 4-pin. I'm not a fan of multiple pin sights. but for the sake of having this put together, we're going to put it on there. Then you just got to kind of snug them down. You don't want to over tighten them because you can't strip out the threads. But that's what I like about the wax, is it kind of, you know, lubricates the threads a little bit. That makes sense, and then it creates a barrier so that the steel screws won't weld to the aluminum risers. I've actually got a set of wrenches here. It's kind of hard to see, but if you can see that one there on this side, it's twisted. I'm trying to take sight screws out of a old bow. I couldn't even tell you what bow it was, but it was an older bow, and they had definitely set in. I had to spray it down with penetrating lube. It was Croyle, and let it sit for quite a while before they had actually come loose, and I still twisted the wrench getting it out. Alright, well, we need to track down a peep sight and get that in. Well, breaking news. We interrupt this latest bow build to bring you another hunting video. Glad you're still with us. It is November 25th. Day after Thanksgiving. It's Black Friday. It's a cool and breezy 41 degrees. And we're out here on some private ground. We are up in the top stand. We have the Raven with us. We still got a few more minutes to official sun up. So I'm going to shut this off. As usual. If we see anything worth seeing, we'll get it turned back on. Or, you know, until I get bored and want to start talking. I don't know. Stay tuned. Alright, I just had a buck come in behind me. I wasn't really expecting a deer to come out from that way, so I was not set up. He's definitely not one of the bucks I was looking for, but he was limping real bad on his front left leg. So I decided I'm going to shoot him. He was about 21, 22 yards. I got him stopped. I got a clean shot. And I'm pretty sure he just went down right over top of the hill. So I'm going to give it about 10-15 minutes, because I really hope he's laying up there and he didn't go across the road. Otherwise, then I got to deal with calling people. Oh, I gotta call the wife. Okay. Alright, love you, bye. So yesterday at Thanksgiving dinner, Papal had made mention that the neighbors had family in. Now I can't tell if I'm shaking because I'm cold or I'm just excited. Anyway, Papal said that the neighbors had family in, and they were down here walking on their part of the bottom and come across what they thought was a blood trail, and asked if I had shot anything out here, and I hadn't. You know, it's my first sit out here in 2 weeks. Alright, I got another 5-10 minutes I want to give him, so I'm going to go ahead and start packing up. And heading down, and we'll go real slow. I'll go ahead and get another bolt, and I'll get the bow recocked and loaded before I make it back over there, just in case, and I'll have my rangefinder at the ready. Oh, I gotta let the boys know. Jamie calls up to the house. Papa's gonna holler for the dogs to come back in. Oh, it was a squirrel. I just saw movement up there. I'm gonna get packed up. I'm gonna get down. I can't wait any longer. I'll be with you when I find him, or I'm holding my head in shame crying. Alright, we're down. As you can see, we're out here in the yard. Alright, let me reorientate myself here. Because I'm very worked up right now. Okay, so you guys can see right there, that's the stand I was in. Come on, where are we at? And that's what we like to see. Now I'm not gonna lie, I've already walked over the hill because I wanted to see if what I saw was him crashing. And I got right here. We got our first buck down in Illinois. I've already been up here. I've already seen him, but I haven't put hands on him yet. Let me go grab my stuff. I got my rangefinder. How far is he? Okay, he's about 40 yards. Where's the bolt? Oh, there's my stuff. Right there. He went 60 yards. He went 60 yards. This one's in the woods. With the way he was limping on that front left leg, I decided it didn't matter. I was gonna put one on him. You guys ready to see him? Look at that buck. Whew. Split G2, he's got a little sticker here. Broke this brow tine off, but guys, he's a great buck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll call it 9. I don't think that sticker's long enough to count. Oh, thank you, buddy. Thank you. All right. We got some work to do. Gonna get a couple of pictures taken. When Jamie gets out here, we gotta get him loaded up in the truck. Oh, I'm just so thankful. He is a gorgeous buck. I don't think I've had any pictures of him. He'd have been an 11 if that brow tine weren't broke or the sticker was a little bit longer. Guys, I'm just elated. I don't have any other words. All right, stay tuned. We're not done yet. Here comes all the help. I don't know why. I had a feeling it was going to be today. I was sitting there in the stand this morning about 7 o'clock. It just felt like this was going to be it.
Why do you think I didn't go shopping?
It just felt right today.
I didn't tell you. But this morning I wasn't going to go shopping because I knew you were going to get one.
Nice.
Oh, he's cute.
He's fat.
That's probably the old boy that made that rub down there.
You know what was wrong with his leg?
No idea.
That leg?
Yeah, it's well, it's been shot.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
It's got a hole.
that's might be mine.
Oh. Well, look how swollen it is, though.
Yeah.
It looks like an old wound.
That ain't fresh. You didn't break that bone with that arrow. That's a slug.
Where's your shot at, Steve? Right here.
You're stepping.
Where?
It's in the blood. It's okay, but I'm
Here.
just telling you are.
That's why I wear white shoes.
That's slug.
Yeah,
Is
so
she-
you got some skinned him on there.
Huh?
Olivia,
mark
are you
there.
vlogging? I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, I see it. Right behind that front leg.
Yep, that was my entrance.
He was hurting anyhow, you know what?
He was.
He's an older buck, ain't he?
He's an old boy.
He's got a gray face.
And look at the gray face.
Yeah, he's pretty.
And also, he has his tongue sticking out.
Yeah. Somebody shot him in the leg.
We're about to have some help.
But we're okay.
Yeah, I made sure he crossed the line before I shot. Whether or not they'd mind, I don't know,
I
but
don't think. They asked me the other day if he'd got one. And I said no.
but it's technically trespassing if I shoot across property lines. So.
Yeah.
Can I get a few pictures?
We
here
got
for me?
something.
Can't you think they can see?
Yeah, he's a great old buck.
Huh?
He's a great buck.
Yeah.
Here.
Broke his one brow tine there.
Yeah. That's broke off, but he's
I like
got
that.
a split
I like
G2.
Yeah.
that sticker here.
He's got that little sticker there.
Yeah.
Is that the one that's been rubbing down there?
I just bet it was.
I ain't got
Yeah.
no idea.
But
It already-
you don't know for sure. You never
Yeah,
know.
we drove by. I'm like, oh, there's that buck we've been seeing signs of.
There was.
Mhm.
It already had a shot in his leg.
Yeah, somebody shot him during the shotgun season. That's probably the blood you seen.
It might have been.
That front leg there's got a slug hole in it and broke the bone.
What it was,
So he was a hurting anyhow.
Yeah.
Probably would have never come out of it.
Tell you what, out of all the deers we checked in during shotgun season, this is probably about the second biggest one.
Really?
There was one guy, I mean,
That's probably the biggest one I've ever seen with this lake. He's like, I don't think I'm going to mount it. I'm like, oh my God, you need to mount it.
Yeah,
I love this.
Several years ago, I shot an 11 pointer. I don't know what he weighed, but
Yeah,
it was well over 200. The body. You know.
We had one, it was like an L shape.
Really?
It was neat. It was neat look, but it was also someone shot it in the back during shot like 2 days beforehand. Huge hole in the back from the shotgun. I was like, how's that thing running around the woods?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there was that one on that trail cam. Remember, Steve? It looked like it got hit by a car, because like its whole side was gone.
Oh,
It
where
was
it was like
gross.
walking
And you
across
could
and it had
see, like, it's-
yes.
yeah.
Yeah, they ended up finding it
It
later
was
on
gross.
dead, but man, that's a good one.
So where was it you got him? Right here? Or?
It's down
Down
there.
over the hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
wow.
probably was the blood that we were
I bet it
seeing.
was. I bet it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a stand right through that gap right there.
Yeah, we saw it, and then they got the one across the creek.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went down
Grant,
the other
did you get
day, and
Grant, you
there was a
didn't shoot
blood trail, and it looked like it came
No.
from yours, and that's what I was
man,
asking.
she
Like,
told me you did
did
it.
he get a deer
I
this
don't
year?
trust
No, like,
myself because if
we
I
just
tried
follow
followed
the
it,
blood
I'd
trail.
probably aim it the wrong direction and I'd be like, hit a car.
His leg was swollen.
Oh yeah,
See the
He
hole?
had a
right
hole.
there.
Yeah. It broke the bone.
Well, that might be mine.
I doubt it. That
It
looks,
definitely
that looks
was
old.
hurt though. Look
It all
how,
looks old.
Look how swollen it was.
Yeah,
That
it's-
front leg.
Yeah, it might have been older.
Sorry, baby.
Yeah.
Swelled up.
He's got a big old tick on him.
Tick.
Those are good.
Yes.
All right, guys. As you can see, we made it back to the house. Got the buck in the truck, wagon in the dragon, and the dragon in the wagon. Already starting to stiffen up. Again, I cannot be more proud of this. You can see I got my tag on, the leg tag's on too, so nobody get upset. He was tagged before I ever really put hands on him. As it should be. He was fully legal. Look at that. I don't remember if I did a real good job of actually, you know, saying everything that went on. So, I was sitting there in the stand. I'm gonna set him down, he's heavy. Sitting there in a north-facing stand, so as I'm, ironically enough, I am actually facing straight north. This morning we had a northwest wind, so it's coming, you know, this direction, hit me, you know, towards the side of the face. Well, you guys know how to figure that. So it was blowing behind me to my right. And this old warrior, he did exactly what an old buck should be doing. He was cutting right across the top of the hillside that goes down into that bottom, and from there he can check, you know, wind check everything that's going to be down there in that bottom, and which also means that he stood for a couple of seconds. When I first saw him, he was straight downwind. Now I'm not gonna lie, I had as many mashed potatoes in my glass last night as I had on my plate. If you know, you know. So I was running a little bit late this morning. I didn't shower. And then I realized, well, with last night I kind of forgot to, but I didn't wash my clothes either. So my clothes haven't been washed for 2 weeks. I think was the last time I was out. Well, it would have been 2 weeks ago tomorrow. Was when Trent and I went out snowing. So my clothes have not been washed. I have not been washed. That top stand, as I've said several times, is surrounded by little cedar trees. So I grabbed my trusty bottle of All Up in Cedar. And I tell you what, this is an old buck, and I'm sure that's the only way right there that I was able to stay invisible. You know, it just there's no better way to say that. But when I turned around and saw, the only thing I could see when I first saw him was I saw his back hip. Is, you know, it's thick up there. That was all I could see. And I said, "Hey, look, there's a deer." And I watched for a second, and I thought I seen antlers move. So then I watched, you know, a bit more intently. And all I could see was like this. From here forward, I could see this big claw. And I'm like, oh, he's not that big. I'm gonna let him walk. And then I watched him take a few steps, and he wasn't putting any weight on that right front left, or the front left leg. And I said, this deer is injured. He's been hurt, or he's got something going on. Got a big tick on him. I said, this deer's he's hurt. Like I said, Pablo said the neighbors had mentioned something about, you know, maybe a blood trail being down there. So I didn't know if somebody taken a shot at him before and didn't make a good shot. But that's when I decided that, you know, I'm going to go ahead and pull the trigger on him if he gives me the opportunity. I had to wait a few minutes, but he eventually stepped out into a nice open window. I shot him like 19 yards. He was quartered away pretty hard. I would have turned the camera around. I had the time to do it, but with the way that the camera was, you wouldn't have seen nothing. It was just too thick going to that side. That's why I've never, you know, recorded anything to my back right side, because it's just too thick. And when I first saw him, he was 12 yards behind me. I don't even know if he was that far. And all I could see was his back end. But I'm damn proud to have him. He's got just scars all over him where he's been fighting. His brow tine here is broke off. G3 on the right side's broke. But man, he's just got some cool character. And see how wide that beam is. And he's got this little sticker right there. He's a cool buck. He's a great buck. I'm damn proud of him. I'm very thankful that I had the opportunity to harvest this deer. Quite frankly, whenever I crested that hill and saw him, which you guys already saw in the video, all I could see was just the top of this beam sticking up. I got up there to him, seeing that he was down and done. I did. I hit my knees, shed a tear. Quite frankly, I'm not saying everybody should, but you should always respect your harvest. Always be respectful of your deer, or your rabbits, your squirrels, your birds, whatever, what have you. But this is where I'm going to close up this video. I do have plans on mounting him, and I think I'm going to do it the same way that we did my 8-point that I shot down there off that same property. I'm going to real quickly find out what measurements I need to get. Well, I'm going to get him cleaned out first. The landowners, you know, the neighboring landowners and everything down there appreciate not having gut piles to attract coyotes. So anything I shoot down there, I bring home the field dress, the gut. I guess it's not really field dressing if I do it in my garage, is it? So anyway, we're going to wrap this up. Again, I'm very thankful of him. I'm very thankful that Stay Invisible put out such a great product that matched the exact scenario and situation that I was in. Very thankful to the wife, my daughter. They come out and helped. Yeah, we got some work to do, so we're going to sign off here. Guys, this was a goal of mine for the last 2 years, was to shoot another good buck. And I did that. I got after it and I kept after it. You should too.